You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hi there, Days of Our Lives fans. You are seeing little Rachel Black being really rotten this week, and then she goes missing. And that sends Kristen into a panic and has Brady frantic too. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we'll get into what happens to her and why and what is next for Rachel's worried parents. Hey, please subscribe if you're not following us. All right, let's talk about what happens to the devilish daughter of Kristen and Brady. So this week on Days, things get really tense when Ava Vitali comes to the mansion looking for answers. That happens on Wednesday, January 8th. She knows from Steve Johnson that the threat text she keeps getting that say, stay away from Brady, are coming from inside the DiMera mansion. And of course, the assumption is Kristen, right? So Rafe showed up asking questions as Steve's new investigator, and EJ was there. And of course, he denied texting Ava because he didn't do it. And then when he wanted to talk to Kristen, he said she's not there and kicked him out. And now, of course, Rafe is locked up in the basement. So, Black Patch isn't getting any answers for Ava, and she doesn't want to wait anymore. And in fact, she might get another stay away from Brady text that is what drives her to come over to the mansion and ask for answers, demand answers, really. Ava confronts Kristen DiMera about the text, although Kristen already swore to Brady that she was not the one hate texting Ava. And Brady actually believed her, seemed to, and it turns out it's spoiled little Rachel Black that's making those threats. If you're current on episodes, you'll know that. Rachel doesn't want Ava dating her dad, and she will do everything she can to put an end to it. And these texts may be just the start, just the tip of the evil iceberg. So when Kristen realizes it's Rachel sending the mean text, she tells her daughter, you can't treat people like that, even your enemies. And of course, Ava's horrified that Brady's daughter is this diabolical, especially when she has such a sweet little face. And Rachel tells Kristen that, she learned to treat enemies this ruthlessly from her. And the kid is right. Rachel learned to be the way she is by modeling her mom's toxic behavior. And to be fair, it didn't help that Brady was holding a gun to her mom, I think to her head, that one time when Rachel walked in on her parents. So she is not getting the best example set for her by either parent. So Kristen's going to put an end to Rachel texting Ava, I'm certain. She may take her phone, some other message, but that should be the end of the evil messages going to Ava about Brady. But all of this is at its heart about Rachel wanting her parents back together. And of course, she's seen Kristen go to insane lengths to try and reunite them. So Rachel likely knows that Brady is the problem. I mean, she has to know that Kristen wants them to be together. Brady's the holdout. And if he's dating Ava, then a reconciliation cannot happen. I mean, Rachel's a twisted little cookie, but she's also a smart cookie. So on Thursday, spoilers say Brady and Kristen are bickering over who's to blame for Rachel's over-the-top bad behavior. Each one is going to blame the other one as the bad guy in this situation. And then next week, things go from bad to worse where the kid is concerned. Brady and Ava are getting much closer once this threat is resolved. And then it's like full steam ahead for this new romance. But then next week, this issue with Rachel and maybe something else is what triggers Ava to have second thoughts. So she's going to tell Brady next week she thinks they shouldn't be together. They should just break up, end this before it goes any further. But Brady's not going to like that, and he is going to try and change Ava's mind. And then while he's trying to convince her, Kristen is going to show up and interrupt Brady and Ava. And this isn't just Kristen's standard troublemaking antics. No, she is in a legit panic. So in the 2025 Days of Our Lives preview spoilers, they told us that Rachel Black disappears. So it looks like mid-January, Brady and Kristen's daughter is a gone girl. But who took her? I mean, who would dare kidnap Rachel, the daughter of notorious Kristen DiMera? Here's what else we know. Just an aside, there is a Rachel Black actress swap coming in late April. Alice Halsey will take over the role from Finley Rose Slater. Slater. And the takeover happens for Rachel Black, April 24th. That's when we get the swap. By the way, this is not a SORAS, a soap opera rapid aging thing. These young actresses are, I think, within a few months of being the same age, around 9, 10. So it could be that Rachel goes missing and stays gone from January until the actress swap. I don't think so, though. You know, alternately, it could be a short-term missing kid case, and then the actress swap happens in April, and it just has nothing to do with her going missing. So back to who would kidnap Brady and Kristen's kid and why. It might look like for a minute that Ava Vitali kidnapped Rachel, you know, to make it look like she was desperate to get the kid out of the way so she could be with Brady. Mind you, very clear, I do not think Ava is going to kidnap Rachel. Not at all. I'm just saying it could be set up to look like Ava did a bad thing to Brady's daughter. My current notion is actually nobody kidnaps Rachel. I suspect that because her threatening text didn't work, Kristen's little mini-me tries another wicked plan to reconcile her parents. I could see Rachel kidnapping herself, dropping clues to look like Ava did it, and then just hiding out and watching Netflix and Disney Plus for a week or two while her parents panic. In Rachel's devious little mind, she may think discrediting Ava and putting a good scare into her parents may do the trick. She may think this is the ultimate parent trap that will finally get Brady to come home to Kristen so they can be a happy little dysfunctional family. I mean, it's easy to understand why Rachel wants her parents together. You know, most kids of split parents do, but it's even easier to see why Brady never wants to be with Kristen again. I mean, do you remember Rachel Black's origin story? Brady thought he was sleeping with Nicole Walker because Kristen was wearing a mask of her face. And, you know, Nicole was always assumed to be infertile. So birth control wasn't an issue. And, you know, of course, yes, we did see her get a miracle baby from Eric. But when Brady thought he was sleeping with Nicole, it wouldn't have crossed his mind. And that's how Kristen got Brady's baby into her belly. Kristen tricked him. And you can only imagine that Rachel, you know, might find out someday this dirty deed that her mom did to get a baby from her dad. It's a pretty icky story, like so many origin stories on Days, you know, like how EJ made Johnny by blackmailing Sammy into sleeping with him. You know, even how Nicole and Eric made baby Jude. That was a drugged up donut baby. Allie got her little boy as the product of rape. I could go on. Days of Our Lives doesn't do sweet, normal baby stories very often. So watch this week to see Rachel Black get busted for sending hateful text and then her watching her parents argue over what she did. Kristen and Brady's blame game might be what inspires Rachel to do something even more extreme to get them back together. Is that kid gonna kidnap herself?
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.